Los Angeles, a city whose very name is synonymous with possibility, ambition, and reinvention. The name conjures sun-drenched boulevards and Hollywood glamour, tourists chasing celebrity sightings, the Pacific breeze, and endless summer. It's a place where dreams are born, where the world comes to bask in the glow of movie magic and the promise of a better life. From the iconic Walk of Fame to the golden sands of Santa Monica, LA is a magnet for those seeking excitement and opportunity. But this postcard-perfect image hides a deeper reality, one that rarely makes it onto the silver screen or glossy travel brochures. Just blocks from the main attractions, a parallel world exists. The city of shadows. Here, the glitz fades, and the struggles of daily life come sharply into focus. Here, tens of thousands struggle to survive, their stories written on the streets. Each tent and makeshift shelter tells a tale of hardship, resilience, and hope against the odds. Most visitors are taught to look away, to keep their gaze fixed on the attractions, but the crisis is impossible to ignore. The contrast between wealth and poverty is stark, and the suffering is visible to anyone willing to see. For those living in tents and shelters, there is no next attraction, only a daily fight for safety, food, and dignity. Every day is a battle to meet basic needs, to find a moment of peace amid the chaos. This is an invitation to look closer, to see the people behind the problem. Each face has a story, each person a history, and a hope for something better. The homelessness and fentanyl crisis is not a footnote. It's a central chapter in LA's story. Addiction, mental health struggles, and economic hardship intersect here, creating a complex web that challenges easy solutions. By understanding this crisis, we see the true character of this sprawling, resilient metropolis. Los Angeles is not just a city of dreams, but also a city of survivors, people who endure, adapt, and support one another in the face of adversity. It's a story of despair, but also of strength in the enduring fight for human dignity. In the shadows, hope persists, and the spirit of Los Angeles shines through those who refuse to give up. When most people think of homelessness in Los Angeles, their minds immediately go to Skid Row, a place long associated with the city's most visible crisis. For decades, Skid Row has been the symbol of homelessness in LA, a concentrated area where thousands have sought shelter on the streets. But in 2025, the crisis has spread far beyond the boundaries of downtown. It's no longer contained to a single neighborhood or a few city blocks. Now, encampments line the city's sprawling freeways, fill once bustling public parks, and have even appeared in some of Los Angeles's most affluent neighborhoods. The sight of tents and makeshift shelters has become a common part of the landscape, regardless of zip code. The reasons behind this surge are complex and deeply rooted. Skyrocketing rents, stagnant wages, and a severe housing shortage have left thousands with nowhere to turn. The cost of living continues to rise, while opportunities for affordable housing remain scarce. For many, a single setback, a lost job, an unexpected medical bill, or a sudden rent increase can be all it takes to push families and individuals onto the streets. The margin for error has all but disappeared. Parks that once echoed with the laughter of children now shelter dozens seeking refuge. Playgrounds and green spaces have transformed into makeshift communities as people search for safety wherever they can find it. Sidewalks are crowded with tents and tarps, forcing pedestrians to navigate around makeshift shelters. The city's fabric is changing as public spaces are redefined by necessity. The crisis is everywhere, dividing communities, straining daily life, and sparking difficult conversations among neighbors, city officials, and those living on the streets. Entire neighborhoods of last resort have formed with their own rules, routines, and even small economies. People trade goods, share resources, and create a sense of community amid hardship. This is not just a downtown problem. It now covers the entire map of Los Angeles. Every district, from the city center to the suburbs, is touched by this crisis. The scale is staggering, and the city's identity is being reshaped before our eyes. What was once unthinkable is now part of daily life. The crisis is now woven into the daily experience of every Angeleno, touching lives in ways both visible and invisible, and challenging the city to find new solutions. Intertwined with homelessness is a deadlier epidemic: fentanyl. This synthetic opioid, 50 times stronger than heroin, has transformed addiction on the streets. Cheap and potent, it offers a fleeting escape but often ends in tragedy. Overdose deaths have soared, with fentanyl's unpredictability making every use a gamble. Many don't know they're taking it, Just a few micrograms can be fatal. Outreach workers armed with naloxone fight a relentless battle, but the cycle of overdose and revival is exhausting. The drug shadow is everywhere, turning a crisis of shelter into a crisis of life and death. Fentanyl has made survival on the streets even more precarious. As a traveler, your LA itinerary is filled with iconic spots, but there's an unseen map, one shaped by the city's crisis. You might be warned to avoid certain areas or find metro stations blocked by shelters. Venice Beach, once a vibrant tapestry, now shares space with rows of tents. The proximity of extreme poverty to tourist destinations is uniquely LA. Sometimes your plans change. A park is closed for cleaning, or you reroute to avoid a block heavy with despair. These adjustments offer a glimpse into the daily negotiations Angelenos make. The city's struggle to balance public spaces highlights the depth of its social divide. The jarring contrasts, luxury beside suffering, are the reality of modern Los Angeles. To truly know this city, you must see both its beauty and its pain. To truly understand the crisis unfolding on our streets, we must listen to those who are living it every single day. Their voices, often drowned out by the noise of the city, hold the real stories behind the statistics. Maria, now 58, spent over 20 years working as a caregiver in Los Angeles. She dedicated her life to supporting others, helping the elderly, comforting the sick, and providing stability for families in need. But when her last employers passed away, Maria's world changed overnight. She lost not only her job but also the small room she called home. With nowhere to go, she packed her belongings into a suitcase and stepped out onto the street, her future suddenly uncertain. With no family to turn to, and her savings drained by years of high rent, Maria found herself sitting on a bus bench feeling terrified, invisible, and completely alone in a city she once called home. Maria's story is heartbreakingly common. She is not just a statistic, but a person who has been failed by a system that promises opportunity, but too often delivers hardship. Despite her circumstances, Maria tries to maintain a sense of dignity. She sweeps the sidewalk near her tent, uses public libraries to stay connected with the world, and looks for work whenever she can. But every day is a struggle, and she lives in constant fear, never knowing what tomorrow will bring. "You don't really sleep," Maria says quietly. "You just rest, with one eye open." The exhaustion she feels is more than physical. It's a deep, soul-deep weariness that comes from never feeling safe. In recent years, the arrival of fentanyl has brought a new kind of terror to the streets. Maria has lost friends to overdoses, and the silence left behind is heavier than any sound. Each memorial candle on the sidewalk is a reminder of lives cut short. She tries to avoid the drug, but it's everywhere. Like a ghost, she says, it haunts the streets, making every day more dangerous and every night more uncertain. Yet, Maria's greatest fear isn't hunger or cold, it's losing hope. She worries that one day, she might stop believing things can get better. Maria's story is proof that homelessness is not a moral failing. It is the result of economic hardship, a frayed safety net, and a society that too often looks the other way. She and thousands like her are not asking for handouts. They are asking for a chance to be safe, to be seen, and to be treated with the dignity every human being deserves. Maria's quiet plea from the sidewalk is a call for compassion, for understanding, and for action. She wants people to see her, not just walk past. Homelessness can happen to anyone, regardless of age, background, or how hard they've worked. It is a crisis that touches every corner of our city. Through it all, Maria's resilience shines. Her strength and kindness are reminders of the humanity at the heart of this crisis, and of the hope that still survives, even in the hardest times. Maria's story is one the city and its visitors must hear. It is a story that demands our attention, our empathy, and our action. The stories are powerful, but the numbers reveal the crisis's scale. In 2025, over 80,000 people are homeless in LA County, more than the population of Santa Monica. The numbers keep rising, outpacing any solutions. Minimum wage earners would need to work 80 hours a week to afford a modest apartment. There's a deficit of over 500,000 affordable units. For every 100 low-income households, only 30 rentals exist. Fentanyl's toll is devastating. Overdose is now the leading cause of death among the unhoused. Last year, more than 2,000 homeless people died, 5 to 6 every day, many from fentanyl. Each number is a life, a story like Maria's. These figures are a call to action, demanding a response as urgent as the crisis itself. The numbers don't lie. Los Angeles is in a state of emergency. Every major city faces homelessness, but LA's crisis is unique. The city's vast sprawl spreads the crisis across hundreds of square miles, making outreach and services difficult. The mild climate allows encampments to become permanent, masking the daily dangers people face. Extreme wealth and Hollywood fantasy amplify the sense of inequality and despair. The visibility of luxury beside suffering creates a jarring, often numbing contrast. Fentanyl's spread is fueled by the instability of street encampments, trapping people in a cycle of trauma and addiction. This toxic mix, sprawl, climate, inequality, and fentanyl, makes LA's crisis especially challenging. Amid the crisis, there are flickers of hope. Outreach workers, volunteers, and doctors work tirelessly, building trust and providing care on the streets. Mobile teams bring medical help and naloxone directly to encampments, connecting people to services. Innovative housing projects, like converting motels and building tiny home villages, offer stability and support. These efforts are small but vital steps forward. Every person housed, every overdose reversed, is a victory. Progress is slow, but these acts of compassion and innovation show change is possible. Hope for LA lies in thousands of small, determined efforts. As you leave Los Angeles, the crisis may fade from view, but the people remain. Maria is still on her bench, outreach workers still racing to save lives. The city is still caught between glamour and pain. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the headlines and statistics. But at the center is the human heart. This isn't just a Los Angeles problem, it's a human one, reflecting our deepest societal challenges. Real change starts with empathy, seeing the person, not just the predicament. Support local organizations, educate yourself, and look past the postcard. Los Angeles is a city of broken dreams, but also unbreakable spirits. By honoring their humanity and supporting efforts to help, we can all play a part in healing this city. Together, we can help Los Angeles become a true city of angels for everyone.